People keep saying they want the old SNEAKO back, and I want to address this. You don't have to be a fan to understand this video. Look at my comments, you'll see half the people watching want to fight. Fans say they want the old sound because fans don't progress. It's unsettling to see someone you relate to become unrelatable. The person you once connected to on an emotional level is on different waves, and instead of allowing growth to happen, you're like the empty nest parents who regret letting their kid leave. This happens to the best bands, pouring out for the Strokes and Radiohead, but the most annoying examples are with mumble rappers like Cardi and Uzi because fans are yelling them to go back to their 2017 sound like that wasn't 4 years ago. You don't miss the old sound, you just peaked in high school, bum. You're nostalgic for a sound because you're stuck in the past, not because it's worse. But no one ever says this because you're not supposed to insult your lame ass fans. It's like, okay, you want the old SNEAKO back, but you've had the same anime profile picture since the Obama years. Who's really at fault here? I guess my relatability is shifting away from the core audience because I'm starting to find financial security and a clear direction. That clear direction being absolutely nowhere, I just do whatever I want every day. But I can't be the same angry kid in his mom's house forever just because you are. The most relatable content to YouTube viewers that would actually sit down and listen to an average dude talk for 10 minutes is motivational videos. You wanna watch videos that validate your loneliness and procrastination. I used to like this dude Matt Diavella's videos, but he figured that shit out, so he's been talking about cold showers and coffee for 3 years now. It gets old, but it works. The audience will never run out. The truth is, motivational videos are lame as hell. Except when you're really down bad, Joe Rogan calling you a bitch over the Inception soundtrack is bars, but at any other point, it's hilarious. And look, now I'm talking and it's not matching up with my voice. Isn't that blah, blah, blah? Actually, you wanna hear every motivational video condenses to 2 seconds so you never have to click on one again? Just do it! That's it. Now fuck off. They even call me materialistic now as if it's this dirty word. Listen, you can't just drop acid and talk about life under the stars forever. And you gotta get your money up at some point. And don't take this as a rich guy talking down to you. I literally lost half my life savings in a GameStop meme. I'm just like you. This was a recent revelation for me because I really thought I could just look at the ocean and talk about deep stuff forever. But this YouTuber fandom showed me how YouTube is a hustle like anything else. I used to take this weird pride from not making any money like I was morally superior for being broke and mad. The world was obsessed with money and I was just gonna talk about real shit. Real shit is providing for your family and having financial freedom. Sorry, deep white guys looking off into the distance to show mid jawline. I understand where you're coming from because I also grew up middle class. Suburban middle class kids don't know the feeling of being at the fucking bottom. Anyone who's at the bottom wants nothing more than to be at the top. The middle wants to be praised for being unique. You're not unique. You're a New York 4 and your hands look weird in photos. If you're middle class, just take acid and listen to Pink Floyd, but stop trying to learn the meaning of life. Everything is a hustle.
Everything's a hustle.
See what I gotta do? Anything that makes you feel good is making somebody rich. Motivational speakers get rich telling you how to get rich. The truth is, all the questions you want answered are within you. Nothing is that complicated, and life is simple once you learn how to ignore the distractions. I really think I'm growing and becoming the person I want to be, even though my fans and my parents think I'm getting dumber. I am dumber, but I'm a lot happier. I'm not thinking as introspectively and questioning reality all the time like I was at 16. I spend way more time now with the simple pleasures, drugs, women, shiny shit. Back then I was having an existential crisis every week, but you always come out with the same answer. And even though people may think you're really deep and smart, you're just making yourself depressed. Because the reality of the world is covered in evil, and anyone who spends too much time trying to uncover it and tell people is miserable. The Almonte Films was one of my favorite YouTubers for doing this, but now they're battling demons instead of balling in a mansion like they should be. Hemingway killed himself, Kurt Cobain, Bourdain, Camus from a car, Patrice from a donut. What I'm trying to say is, truth tellers have fans that love them, but they live unhappy, incomplete lives. I figured this out way too young because now I self-sabotage on a weekly basis because it's funny. I'll impulsively destroy whole relationships to keep myself grounded or whatever. They say it's a symptom of ADHD, but who cares? Everything about me is ADHD. I'm getting off topic. Let me get to my last point before you get bored. I've really learned the value of speaking from experience. That's the best advice for anyone who wants to create for a living. Speak from experience and you never have to write shit. That's why the best artists came from a humbling past. Pain unfortunately gives you the tools to fully express yourself. The fans subconsciously connect with authenticity. That's how you get the phrase, what is real will prosper. Hip hop is at this weird point where rich people stay street to have music material. Lil Durk, for example, is at the top of the rap game right now, even though he's been rapping since 2010 because of all the death and controversy surrounding his name. He's been rich and successful for mad long, but now he's the voice of the streets even as a multi-millionaire. It's a paradox how you find more success by avoiding it. But what would art be without pain? What do you speak about without any experience? Patrice O'Neal has been dead 10 years and still remains the best stand-up comedian ever. It's probably partially because we romanticize dead people, but at the same time, an artist who puts his art before his life can't compare to anyone. Patrice had diabetes his whole life, and instead of treating it, he accepted mortality and put that pain in his jokes. On stage, he truly did not give a fuck about anything. You can't teach that. It comes from years of being the fattest guy in the room, going to jail for a crime he didn't commit, borderline pimping women just using his voice. Patrice was speaking from experience. It made him hilarious, but also righteous, which is rare in comedy, and I doubt he ever wrote a punchline. He found a way to make the most uncomfortable truths funny. I know a lot of his close circle, and they all believe he would be the biggest comedian alive today if circumstances were different. His managers, his girlfriend, his friends all say that, and I want to agree, but I think facing mortality made him funnier. They say he'd have the biggest podcast today, and maybe, but then you have to imagine a Patrice that did give a fuck. Watch Elephant in the Room. I'm not gonna put clips in this video, won't do it justice, but that was a special that came out the year he passed. He was never rich, he was never really famous. Every comic says he would have been if he wasn't so self-sabotaging. He'd be in a meeting with Hollywood executives about to sign the contract when Patrice would look at the framed photo on the desk and call the wife a dumb whore. Inappropriate, yes. Misogynist, also yeah. But imagine the look on the executive's face when the guy asking for a pilot just said what we were all thinking. I had a vivid dream this morning, which is rare because I fall asleep high and barely dream anymore. Right before I woke up, I was lucid dreaming and fully convinced that I had 3 hamsters that I forgot about in a drawer next to my bed. They were crying and screeching loud as fuck because I ain't feed them in weeks. I started feeding them through the cage because I was afraid they were gonna bite me out of anger. And as I gave them their granola, they were literally doubling in size. Now I was afraid for my life from my own hamsters. The hamster in the back of the drawer was growing these long claws like octopus tentacles with nails, and they just kept shrieking and shrieking for more food. And then I woke up.